How's it going, you guys? It's Gian here from Undisputed Principles. I'm here with Melissa, the sales director at Lane 7, one of my favorite blank providers, actually, and she's going to answer some questions for us. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
I'm so excited.
So the first question is, what is Lane 7? What do you do here?
So Lane 7 Apparel is a brand that is for brands. So we are a blank wholesale manufacturer based out of Los Angeles. We've been in the game for about 10 years now and have kind of gone on this wild, crazy ride. And I'm excited to share the story with you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, look behind us. If you can't tell, there's a lot of good inventory coming in. I personally love their urban line. They have a vintage line, and we'll get into details about that. But every time I sell it for Undisputed Principles, people always gravitate towards the colors, the washes, and all that kind of good stuff. So tell me, how does Lane 7 start? How are some of the hurdles you have to jump over? Some of the obstacles you faced as a blank manufacturer?
Yeah, so 30 years ago, if not more, Nabil was getting into manufacturing, and he was taking a lot of stabs in different parts of the market, doing a lot of custom sourcing. So full scale, full package projects all out of Pakistan. One of the brands that he developed was a denim brand. And it wasn't going well. So it was kind of like, okay, this isn't working. How do we pivot? So he dumps the denim brand, kind of looks literally around the globe. What are some markets that would be interesting to get into? And he looks at the wholesale and printable market, and he goes, man, fleece is trash in the United States, specifically in the imprintable market. And it's not fashion forward. It's too expensive, and it's not meeting, if you look at the details and the quality, it's not meeting any retail standards for high-end retail. So looked at it, and he's like, okay, well, I'm already doing all of this. I've already manufactured this for other partners and customers. Let's bring it into the market in the US. So we were the very first company in the United States in the wholesale and printable market to bring 3-end fleece into this space, which is really how we became known. And what we became known for. It came in line right with DTG, right? When DTG was kind of coming up, and everyone's trying to figure that out. But the whole market had to pivot to this new technology. Because it was hard to print. DTG. It still is.
It didn't work with a lot.
No.
It still is. Now DTF, you throw that into the mix.
So kind of looking at, through a lot of trial and error of bringing different products in and different solutions, what's easy enough to work with, right? That makes sense. So that's really how our premium fleece collection came along, was this call for DTG finding a canvas to work with that it's easy to print, has all the components, and can retail at an appropriate amount. And everyone still make money, which is ultimately
I love that.
Chasing.
And you do, so when you say fleece, we're talking hoodies,
hoodies, crews, zip, whatever, that fabric. It's not how it's all assembled. It's the fabric itself.
Got it.
So coming in with a 3-end fleece, and what that really means is you just have a super tight knit fleece. Like sometimes you get that really spongy, like loose, where you can see all the rib in the fleece.
Definitely.
It's horrible to print on.
Right.
And it looks kind of cheap, and it doesn't hold up well. Like it turns into that Saturday you're never going to leave the house hoodie, right? And as our culture has evolved into, you wear a hoodie to a business meeting. Like 20 years ago, who would have thought, right? That we would be this dressed down at any given point.
For sure.
Kind of looking and changing the way that we've altered how this industry reacts to new technology and how printers can find accessible blanks that meet their needs.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So just to get the name correct, Nabil, his name
Nabil.
is So Nabil, there's so many golden nuggets from entrepreneurship and any company actually in general. So we typically, as entrepreneurs, we might have a certain idea, a certain direction that we're super married to, and we think it's going to be the one, such as the denim, right? And so sometimes there's a relationship between your idea and what the market wants, right? And so it seems to me that the denim, for some reason, could have been wrong timing. Who knows the factors that led to Nabil to look at it, have the self-reflection or the ability to self-reflect and get out of his ego, right? Because I know if you're like me and how I used to be, I have this thing called, which leads to a thing called the sunk cost fallacy, which is you have spent so much on this project that you are now going to make it work no matter what, and that can run you to the ground. So I love Nabil's ability to self-reflect, look at it, and pivot. He found another problem, which is the cornerstone of business, is you're solving a problem. So even if people have a brand, clothing brand, what is the message? What is the differentiating factor from the mission or the problem that you're solving through your clothing brand, right? So I love that he was able to redirect himself, found a big hole in the market, because I'm trying to think as you're saying it, what hoodies were out there before Lane 7 in terms of colors, which, by the way, I still sell the purple one, all the ones that we just saw. I still get all of them because they did go really deep into the colors and the quality of their fleece. So
yeah, and it's in our DNA now. Like, we're never settling. We're always looking for different ways to improve and innovate to whatever's coming next. We want to be there on the front line. We're never sitting stagnant. Our entire team, we sit around, how do we get better at what we're doing? It's never going to be enough. And I think having that drive and that ethos is really, it shows in our blanks, in our collection, and how we work with our customers. Like, we want to be there when that next big thing strikes, and we want to help be a part of it.
Absolutely. No, and it shows through the blanks. You'll see it. Is when I first found it, I was blown away by the amount of colors and the washes, especially with their urban line, which understands the heavyweight tees that everybody wants to wear right now. Oversized t-shirts, they have them. And as a matter of fact, what you're wearing right now, it's another piece that this is one of the pieces that I have at the shop that is, when people touch it, it sells automatically. Of course, you have to have a good graphic, a good mission, but when it comes to the blank itself, they really deliver with this one, and they just got inventive.
This is the one I'm the most excited. I see this stuff day in, day out, right? I talk about it all day long. This is what my whole team is so excited about, because it's so different. Like, it stops people in their tracks. And the other thing that I love about it is that it doesn't need a lot, right? Like, this is kind of ready to go off the shelf.
That's true.
Right? Super high perceived value. All you need to do is add like a little, like, left chest, maybe some embroidery, a clip label. This thing's ready to go. So you're only making it that much better with your branding. Like, it's just such a beautiful kind of thing that's happening with this.
No, collection. I love the cooperation from the blank doing potentially 80% of the job here, and then you as a brand just adding your logo, which with this case, in most cases for your blanks, I would argue, do a lot of the work, whether it be on a store shelf or a photo shoot. People stop them in their tracks, and they look twice because of their washes and everything like that. Now, another thing that you mentioned earlier that I think is super worth mentioning is that you make your blanks and the apparel with mindfully thinking about the decoration styles, right? So what are some of the things that people, what are some of the procedures or the processes that people can use with most of your blanks?
So we're one of the only apparel companies, I think, in the market right now that you can use everything from water-based discharge, DTF, DTG, embroidery, whatever the next thing that's coming, whatever that is, you can use it on each one of our garments. Some are easier than others. Our pigment dye collection, that has its own fun capabilities and kind of ways you need to work with that collection. But we pride ourselves in really making that thing that, like, you get it on press, the rest is done. So you don't have to worry about how it's going to come out on the other end.
So again, DTG, DTF, they make the blanks thinking about how that ink is going to hold, how the vibrancy is going to be. All these aspects of it are thought about before they release the blank, which most blanks out there, let's be honest, you can get a shirt from anywhere and then DTG it and it bleeds or it doesn't absorb. So you don't have to worry about that with Lane 7. And it's one of the main reasons why I love this brand.
And another thing we do that I think is really above and beyond is that we work with every major transfer company out there, with every ink supplier, with every equipment manufacturer out there. We're working hand in hand with them. We send them our stuff to test. We get the feedback. And then we look at, and if there's any areas we can improve, or at least when we're having the print conversations, we can talk in an educated manner or refer them to the right person.
Wow,
to get the answers.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool. So they're all tested. They're all battle tested with all the processes. So you can just do it with, whatever blank you get here, they'll let you know well, mostly they're good for everything,
Yeah.
right? Okay, thank you. I love that about that. And then lastly, you know, we have a lot of entrepreneurs here, up and coming brands. We have people that may want to just start a brand potentially after watching a video like this. So what is some advice you can give from a blank provider or your experience for somebody that's starting a brand in order to grow it? What are some tips that or maybe some things you've seen fail a lot of mistakes you've seen brands make?
Yeah.
What can you share about that?
So the number one thing I can tell you is that the graphic will drive that first purchase.
Oh yeah.
And it's the most expensive acquisition is the first time a customer orders, right? All your marketing money, all of that. You start to make money. You lose money on your first purchase from a customer every single time. But that second purchase is where you start to make money and have a brand loyalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having a graphic that drives, especially in e-com, having that graphic that drives the purchase. The second purchase is based off the garment. If they love the way it fits, the way it feels, and it is in line with what that brand is selling, you've got a customer for life.
This is priceless. All right. I'm taking notes about this right now. It's so true that people will give most brands that first impulse buy, if you will, chance. But after the wash, after the dry, which is something that a lot of people complain about, to be honest, from most brands, if they don't come back, it is the garment that's going to carry. They can love the graphic, but if they can't wear it, then you're done, really.
Yeah.
So it's about that long-term value, right?
Yep.
That longevity, that affinity that they build based on the way things fit after that first wash. And that is a huge tip that I think, well, obviously with Lane 7, you won't have to worry about that, right?
That's right.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, I think we covered a good amount of stuff right here, but based from the experts directly from Lane 7 for you guys. Anything else you want to add?
No, buy more Lane 7. I've got too many boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, hop on this. We got some inventory. But, you know, you guys are going to be at ISS also?
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll
awesome. You'll see them at ISS Impressions in Long Beach. I'll share some details about that. And creating an account, just quickly, you go to the website, create an account, get a seller's permit, and I can explain to you either in the comments or whatnot how to get one. And you can just buy wholesale. There's no minimums. And yeah, I love it,
Free
you guys.
freight at $300. You can't forget that. That's
free shipping then. Free shipping?
At $300.
$300 order.
10 hoodies. So.
Wow. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.